So now if you go to these countries in the Gulf, in the deserts area, you can see that. It's already done, happened. And this is, Prophet said, 1400 years. As soon as this happened, very short time, signs of the last days begin to appear. And this is one of them. And there are lot of many other signs of the last days. If you take a Sahih al-Bukhari or Muslim, in English, there are English, and check on the signs of the last days, and read. And you can see all this. But people here, scholars of today, unfortunately, they are afraid for their lives. They don't mention these things, as if it is not part of Islam anymore. So they hide it. Muslims, yeah. Muslims are not teaching these things. It is there in the books, but they are afraid to bring it out. They don't mention it to people, to encourage them to do for akhirah.
Why are they afraid?
What?
Why are they afraid?
They are afraid to die. They are afraid for their dunya. Not all Muslim scholars, but many of them, they are afraid of speaking these things. Why people doesn't know about these things? Why you are not telling people about these things in Holy Quran? Telling that Prophet ﷺ 1400 years ago, he said, when you see this occur, expect the signs of the last days. He said more than that. He said at that time, time will collapse. Time will be very short. Everything will be so near each other. And now you are seeing this. Every country is near each other now, by planes.
Yes.
You go anywhere, in 9 hours, 10 hours, you'll be from far east to far west. And that he mentioned 1400 years. And Prophet ﷺ mentioned that in these last days, the fruit in summer, you can eat it in winter anymore. And this fruit of winter, you can eat it in summer. Because the time will be elapsing in each other. And this is what we are seeing today. Now you can eat any kind of fruit of summer or winter in the same time. And look, this globalization now of the whole world. You can reach any part of the world in 1 second now. By cellular telephones. By telephones. This is all predicted if you take Sahih Muslim and Bukhari and you read that. People are not touching on these subjects. I have made a series of how many lectures is Tahir? 6 lectures on the signs of the last days. And it is on tape. They are now editing it on in a pamphlet. Most of the hadith of the last days. And what will happen in the last days? Big deal that every one of us is giving it an importance. I am, for example, I have $100 million, let's say, and I cannot eat except this plate. And this poor guy has nothing and eat this plate. Is there anything more than that?
No.
When you die, that poor and that rich are equal now.
Yes, indeed.
In wealth, in dunya wealth. The rich cannot take his bank accounts with him to the grave, and the poor has no bank accounts. Both of them are equal. That one who was good in dunya and poor is going to find treasures there, wealth from akhirah. And that one who was rich and was bad person, he's not going to find anything. But if he was rich and was good person,
Allah.
he's going to find a lot of things. Because Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Ghaniyu Shakir afdal min al-Faqir al-Abid. He said the rich who is thankful to Allah is better to Allah than the poor who is worshipper. Because the rich, he knows he is rich, he has money, he is thanking his Lord and giving fi sabilillah in the way of Allah. The poor has nothing, so what he is going to give is praying only. But if he was rich, that poor might be worse than the rich, and he might be doing something more wrong than the rich. So Allah said subhanahu wa ta'ala that a servant who is rich and thankful. That's what I like. Although I like the worshipper who is poor, but the rich and thankful means he has something to offer to the Muslim community, to the other Muslims. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take us in the best way. I was explaining in one of the lectures in Indonesia recently that the soul of the Muslim, two kinds of souls Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Muslim He will take out. When Allah calls His servant to His presence, means by death, he is that servant. If he is a Muslim, there is a Muslim, there is mu'min. Two different, completely different. Muslim is a normal Muslim person. Mu'min is a higher level. If a Muslim, his soul will be taken like sha'ra min al-ajin. Prophet ﷺ mentioned, like a hair from the ghee, from butter. How you take it very easily. The mu'min, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send a special light from His light with Sayyidina Azrael, that's angel of death. As soon as that abd see that light, he follows. The kafir, he will be tortured. Angel of death will come through all his body, pulling out. In every pulling out of his cell, the life, he is tortured. You know how many cells there are in a human body?
Man.
3 trillion cells. 3 trillion cells, living cells. Every cell is living. And every cell, like a complete factory, has its defense and offense system. And all of them are run by angels. When Allah is ordering the soul to go out, it has to go out of every cell that existing in the body. 3 trillion cells. Islam is so huge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, and if we want to go deeper and deeper, never ending. Knowledge never ending. And we hope that inshallah ulama, scholars, will be teaching people how to be good Muslim. They have in Malaysia, I was in Malaysia, they have a problem there. Some people are following some cult who are black magic. They call devil worshippers. They are Muslim. And they were asking me about how to, these adults, how to get them back to Islam. The problem in our Muslim countries is that we teach Islam by stick. Scholars there, they teach Islam by anger, by force, by pressure. They say, for example, if you don't pray, you go to hell. Anything you do, they say, you are going to hell. If you don't do this, you go to hell. If you don't do that, you go to hell. So they were asking me a question. I said, look, if they change their tone, instead of saying, if you don't pray, you go to hell, you still give the same meaning by saying, if you pray, you go to paradise. It's the same meaning, but different approach. Instead of telling a person, if you don't pray, you are scaring him, forcing him. By force, no one comes in this kind of time, 21st century. If you don't pray, you go to hell. Why you say to him like that? Say to him, if you pray, you go to paradise. They will be more happy. Show the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't show the punishment. Leave the punishment to the end. You are not a prophet. Only the prophet can do that. So ulama cannot do that. Ulama has to show the mercy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala